Hey guys, I am here today and we're just going to be sharing a great resource for you for managing your business, and it's called Financial Sense. So I'm here with George Abdelmessih, and he is going to tell us all about how this software works, how it's going to be useful for you. He's going to give you a little demo and talk about how you can get it. So George, tell us about Financial Sense. How is this? What is it, and how is it going to help us?
Well, first off, thank you to Margie and the entire Acadian team for allowing us to come on. My name is George Abdelmessih. I'm the head of sales here at Financial Sense. And Financial Sense is a full-on practice management solution specifically built for the accounting space. So we help firms from everything from managing the workflow, getting client intake documents, bringing clients onto the system, onboarding clients, all the way through actually invoicing and sending out proposals even, and then invoicing clients and collecting payment.
Oh,
Uh,
so
yeah,
it's more than just a check. I thought it was a fancy checklist. It sounds like it's way more than that.
it's a lot more than that. It started off as a really fancy checklist,
Okay.
but we listen to our customers, and that's one of the things that really makes us unique. Is as we started to grow the platform, and essentially, I mean, when we first started the system, it really was like we were trying to look for like what is it that how can we help the accounting space, and what is it accountants need, and what we ultimately found out as we talked to more and more accounting firms was, there's a lot of really good platforms out there, and there's a lot of really good tools out there. The biggest frustration that a lot of them had was getting their team to use it and making it to where it was like
Mhm.
simple to use.
Yeah.
And something that, it makes sense in the mind of an accountant when they're in the system, like this is where I should go to do this thing, right? Whatever task it is that I'm trying to
Right.
accomplish.
Right.
Um, and it was crazy because like, a lot of the times what happens with software is uh developers build the software and they think like developers. They don't think
Right.
like
Yeah.
accountants.
Yeah.
So we felt like we had something really unique here because when we built the platform, every step of the way, we had accountants in there telling us, this isn't right. That's not right. This is what you need to do better. Like,
Yeah.
this is where I would expect this to be. So we really try to listen, and we really did.
Uh-huh.
And even now, whenever we release new features, it's only features that accounts are actually asking us for. We don't care.
That's
Like, we have people that come and try to use the platform that are in other industries. Great. If they
mm,
if they find that it works for them, wonderful. But that's not who we're focused on. We're
yeah.
specifically focused around the accountants. So we really try to build something that worked for them and that actually made sense for the team members to want to use, which is
Yeah.
great for the management teams because now the management teams actually get the reporting that they want and they can actually
Uh,
see all the cool things that they want
yeah.
to see. So it's actually, I'm excited to get to share it with you guys
All
today.
right. Well, let's see it. Let's see
Yeah.
what the hubbub's all about.
All right. So what we're looking at here is what we call the workflow dashboard. So when you first log into the platform, this is generally speaking where you're going to end up. And every firm's going to have a little different. Every employee in the firm can see some, like depending on the permission levels, they're going
Mhm.
to be able to either see more or less. Actually, right now, I'm seeing everything because I'm logged in as an owner on the account. But I
Mhm.
can look up here at the top right and see we have 109 total projects that are currently open. And I can
Mhm.
filter this down using these filters up here. So if I only wanted to say, look at my monthly bookkeeping, right? I can actually type in monthly bookkeeping. And I'm only going to look at my monthly bookkeeping projects. I can
Mhm.
also stack on filters. So I can filter by the tags that we see here. So if I only want to see the monthly bookkeeping where we're waiting on the client to get us information back.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've already brought it down from 109 down to 9 pretty quickly. But I can filter even more by filtering by either the start date, the internal due date, the actual due date that something's due. I can look at it by custom time frame as well,
Mhm.
or I can look at it by one of these standard times. I can also filter by the actual accounting period. So for like this one, this is May of 2025. So if I only want to see the ones in May of 2025, it's easy for me to come in here and select that, select my year, right? And then only the ones that are deemed for May of 2025 will show up. So lots of really cool little things that we can do like that. I'm going to just open that one back up so I have a little bit more to work with here. I can
So
filter.
this part that we're looking at, this part that we're looking at is the fancy checklist.
This is the dashboard that shows you what
Oh,
projects are actually
okay,
need to
got
be
it.
worked on. So the
Okay,
actual fancier checklist is when we go into one of these projects, we're going
I
to,
see. So it's a set of checklists, or
yeah. So this
yeah,
is like those were all the actual projects. Here's the
got it, got it,
fancy
got it.
checklist. And what's nice about this is we actually have sections that you can build out in here. And there's two types of sections. So I have like my client sections, which are things, it's like a checklist that I'm giving to the client saying, hey, Mr. Customer, here's the things that we need from you. Like this is the stuff that I actually need to get from you, whether it's my bank statements, credit card statements, if I'm doing bookkeeping, if I'm doing tax returns, it might be like your W-2s, your 1099s, or sorry, yeah, 1099s, 1098s, all that good stuff. We can ask for all that here. What's great about this is that you can create these fancy checklists out of templates. So you can actually create projects either from scratch or you can create them from templates. The great thing about the templates is that we actually have, there's a whole library of them, and we actually have what's called a public library, meaning we've actually had other users that have already created their own checklists who are also accountants and also in the accounting space.
Yeah.
So they've already pre-created a lot of this, and then they've shared them with other users to say, hey, here's what I have for my checklist. If you like it, you can use it. Then you actually have your internal checklist that you can go in and customize as well. And you can take
and I think you guys told me, you said it's a public list, so you don't even have to be a Financial Sense user to get the templates, right?
Yeah, for the public list that we have, it's pretty simple. If anyone wants to go to it, it's called templates.financial-sense.com. And you can actually see how what other users have created for their checklists for like monthly bookkeeping or payroll or tax or whatever. And if you like this, you can download it to Excel. So you don't
there we
have to
go.
use Financial Sense to do it. And this is a free site. We just did this to kind of help the accounting space. We, kind of give back to our own community.
Yeah. I'll link that down below too, so that you guys can access that and see those. All right. Sorry to distract you. Let's see what.
No, you're good. One other
on.
thing about this actually is that you can use this and you can filter by the type of work you're doing, the location. So if you're located in US, Canada, wherever, you can also filter by the client's industry. So if you have clients that are in construction mainly,
oh,
you
nice.
can filter by that and see how other users have already pre-created all this.
Nice.
You guys, especially if you guys are just getting started, this is a really good tool. Whether you're just getting started or you're just starting to try to get a little bit more organized as well.
Yeah.
So, all right. So when we get back over here, the great thing about these templates is, there's no such thing as a perfect template that's going to meet every client's needs, right? So what we've done is we've created it to where, you want to have a pretty good understanding. Like if I'm doing a 1040 tax return or I'm doing a 1040 with the Schedule C, I can have two different templates, one with Schedule C and one without, right? Or I can have one, monthly bookkeeping for construction versus monthly bookkeeping for retail. Like there's different things that we have to do there. The idea is get the template set up in where it's about 90% of the way there, right? And then what happens is when you create and you use that template for that particular client, now you can go in and customize it, make it specific to that client, right? So in the monthly bookkeeping, I'm going to have reconcile accounts as one of my tasks, right? Well, I want to actually go in there and tell it under reconcile accounts which accounts I want to reconcile. So I can actually create, I can actually create subtasks in here. And I can actually have those listed specific to that client. What's great about this is they are going to show up over here, so I will be able to see them, and I can check those off as I complete reconciling them. But what's also going to happen is when this project recreates itself automatically, either next month, next quarter, next year, whatever that time frame is, system's going to remember the customization that we made specific to that client.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to keep doing that over and over. And even if we have like a one-off situation, this month I have to do this one weird thing for this client, I'm actually able to come in here and add that additional task, right? And then I can mark that as a non-recurring task so that next when it recreates, it doesn't ask us to do that over again. Another really good thing about this is that you guys are going to see inside of the actual tasks, you can add descriptions, you can add links. There's all sorts of things that you can do. And I have a lot of customers that what they'll do is either add like a Loom video link inside of here showing their employees, this is how you go do
Oh,
this task.
nice.
Okay. Which is really good. And it really ties in what you guys do too, because what happens here is now I can provide a training platform for my team on how they're supposed to do this thing. Right? Or I can build my SOP specific to that client directly in here. And again, I'm setting this up once and I don't have to constantly every month, I got to go back and update this information. It's going to automatically recur with that client. Or I can build it into the template so that it's already there and I don't have to worry about that in the future, right? Like I don't have to keep adding it to the different templates. So lots of really good customization, also lots of really good automation, right?
Yeah.
Because
Before you talk about that, I just want to mention something I'm noticing on the screen that I love so much, and that is mark in progress. There are so many to-do lists that just have to do and done, and it drives me nuts because you got to have an in progress status. So I'm just, oh, that made my heart sing when I just saw that just now.
yeah, and as you guys can see, since I marked it in progress, there's a little yellow dot here.
Yes.
Okay, so it's actually visible to me that this person is working on this task.
Yes.
I have to go ask questions about it.
That's awesome. That's
So
awesome.
it
All
makes
right, you were going to say about automations. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what I was talking about there is just like we can have the actual descriptions and everything, you can also come in here and put your automations in place. So like when we talked about that workflow dashboard earlier, and we were looking at all the projects that were there, what we're seeing there with those tags is you can automate those tags because none of your employees want to manually go in and add a tag and then remove a tag. And, you know, and then as management, the employee is going to forget to do it. And now I don't really know, is it really in that stage or is it somewhere else or what's going on with it? So we can automate that by coming in and saying, when this task is complete, adjust the tag. Go ahead and change that tag by either adding a specific tag or removing another tag that was already there, or both. I can add one tag and remove the next. That way, again, my team doesn't have to manually go in and do that. The only time your team should manually be adding tasks is if it's something like along the lines of like, hey, I got stuck on this and I want to raise my hand to let Margie know that I've got an issue and I need help, right? That's when we want to do those manual tags that are like stuck, and then we can have a stuck report so that as management can go in there and look at it and say, hey, show me anything where there's a tag that says stuck. That way I know what my team has raised their hand about and it bubbles up to the top, and I'm not just having to weed through all of these projects to figure out where can I actually assist. Make sense?
Yeah, that's great.
So one of the other things that I absolutely love about this is the ability to automate for both sending out emails to clients and creating other projects. So
I was just going to ask that question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So with this, what we're saying here is when we complete this task, I want the system to email the customer to say whatever it is I want them to say at this stage of the project. So if it's like I completed the monthly bookkeeping, instead of my team having to stop what they're doing and go write the email to then send it out, and you know, Margie writes her emails one way, George writes his emails the other way. Like I want that communication to be consistent across the board with the clients. Just by actually adding this in here, I can tell the system when this task is complete, send out the email to the client. I want it to send out the, you know, monthly bookkeeping complete email. I don't actually have it in here. Oh, there it is, completed bookkeeping. I can tell it which contact to send it to. If you do this on the template level, so I'm not actually having to come in here and do this every time I create a client or every time I create the project, I can do this on the template level and I can have it auto go to the default contact. Okay, that way we're not having to come in here and select this. But what this means is just by completing this task, you're going to see when I go check it off, the system is going to say, hey, there's an email automation added to this task. Therefore, by completing the task, it's going to send an email to the client. So it's basically asking, are you sure you're done with that? Right? Like we don't want to accidentally send it.
Right.
But once I hit confirm, it actually kicks off the email. If you think about what this is really doing for you, it's keeping your communication consistent with the client. It's automating the process of actually sending it out, which is keeping your team from having to spend another 5 minutes to go write the email and send it out. And then another 5 minutes after that to get their mind right to go back to doing the actual tasks. These little tiny time savers that we have are going to be really helpful to being able to be more productive, as well as just one less thing that the employee has to go off and do, one less thing that they have to worry about, meaning they're able to actually get more work done and, not feel like overloaded on what's going on. These things like this, we can automate, right? Let's do that and make it easier on them.
Yeah. Now, the client tasks where it says like upload your bank statements, is that also an email that's going out to the client?
Yes. So what happens here, and I'm glad you asked about this, because we can ask them to do all sorts of things. I can ask them to upload their documents. I can actually come in here and ask them to send. I can send them documents. I can request signature. I can ask them questions, and we even have an uncategorized transactions feature where we can actually request that they complete their uncategorized transactions. And what happens there is it sends it out to the client, and we'll see it in a minute, where the client, it just basically asks them, here's the transaction that came over from the bank feed. We need to know what it was for so that we know how to categorize it. And we can even attach documents to it, like receipts, invoices, so that we can then categorize it directly in Financial Sense and have that go update to QuickBooks for us. So that
was my next question. Is it integrated with QBO so that when they do categorize it, it's categorized in QBO?
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
All sorts of really cool things that we can do here, and we're actually going to show that. One of my favorite things to do, and I'll kind of show you guys a quick little trick. If you don't go through the wizard on this, but you come in and say something like, I need to schedule a meeting with the client. So I'm going to ask the client to schedule a call with us. When I hit save, I can click the little drop down, and I can actually customize the upload destination. I'm going to customize what the button itself actually says to make it say schedule call. I'm cheating a little bit. I already have my calendar link kind of because I do this a lot, but you can see I'm actually putting a hyperlink in here, and you can use this for anything. I can actually hyperlink this to Dext. I can hyperlink it to, whatever other system I want I want this to take the client. So what's going to happen is when we hit save and we go send this out, we can tell the system when we want it to go out. So I can say, hey, automatically send it out right now. I want to schedule it to go out on a certain time frame. And again, as a part of the template, you can automate that the schedule automatically goes out. So when the system creates the project, it automatically requests what we need to from the client without our team ever actually having to come in here and do anything. Or we can make it dependent on when one of these other sections are complete. So I can say when my team is done with the team stuff, then send out this request, and then it'll trigger the team to go work on some more stuff, and then we can have another thing go out, however we want to do this. But I'm going to go ahead and say send it out right now. And before I do that, I want to show on our scale plan, you have this ability to come in here and actually customize the emails that go out. So I'm going to use a default template, but I can actually create and manage all my different email requests, so that if I'm sending out a monthly bookkeeping, I'm going to request it one way. If I'm sending it out for a tax return, I might add, different verbiage, and so on. So we can customize how the actual request goes out and what it says. Over here, we can select which contacts at the client site get this request. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to send it to DRC in Carolina. I can pick who from my team it looks like it's coming from.
Yeah.
So even though I'm the one sending it, I'm going to make it look like it's coming from, say, Baylor, right? So that what happens is when I hit send, the system is going to automatically get or send out an email that looks like this. Okay. And I just got the email. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the client side and show you guys what the client's going to see. So the client in their email is going to get an email that looks something like, trying to find the last one. Here we go. This is the one right here. You see that it looks like it's coming from Baylor. The email itself comes from your company name, and it's coming from a no reply email, because what happens here is we're making sure it doesn't land in their spam folder. Okay. But what happens is clients are notoriously not going to pay attention to this, and they're going to end up hitting reply. So what happens is when they hit reply, it replies to the contact. Okay. So in this case, it's going to go to Baylor. Now we use what's called a passwordless or a magic link. So a passwordless portal or magic link. So
Mm-hmm.
what happens here is when the client clicks on the view and manage tasks, and again, I was cheating because I was already logged in. I'm going to come out of there. Let's hit it again. And you'll see what's going to happen here is it recognizes who the client is and it
Mm-hmm.
wants to send them a text message to verify their identity. So we're
Mm-hmm.
securely still allowing them to log in. So I send it out, I get the text, and they're going to go, I'm going to go ahead as a client and punch that in.
Do you just have the one contact for the client?
You
Because
can have multiple contacts.
oh, okay. Okay.
So if I
Because
have
who
like,
at DRC did it just go to?
in this case, when I send it out, I had it sent out to DRC and I had it sent out to, I believe, Carolina. So it's sending
Those
out
were the
to
people,
both.
those were the same company?
Yes, these are both like these are two employees at the same client or
Oh,
company.
okay.
Or
Okay.
maybe
I
it's the
thought they were.
owner and the the office manager, or the owner and the assistant, or whoever. Like it could be different contacts at that client site. It
Got
could be
it.
a husband and wife situation. Really, it
Got
could
it.
be anything. So client on their end is going to get it. They're going to be able to come in here, upload their documents, right? And as they start to upload, you're going to notice the system's going to automatically trigger, hey, it looks like you're done with this. Make sure you complete it, or make sure
Mm-hmm.
you mark it complete when you're done. Because what happens is as they mark it complete on our end, we're going to see that, right? So when I look at it over here, let me just refresh this real quick. We see that these have already been uploaded. We can see the documents that they sent us. So we can see that here. The reason that's so important is because what's actually happening there is when it says make sure you mark it complete, what's going to happen is if they don't mark it complete, the system is going to send out a reminder.
Ah,
And it's going to send out a reminder on however often we select for it to do so. So now my team doesn't have to stop what they're doing to remind the customer to get us the information. And most of the time, what will happen is clients will get you like one or two things and then they forget, or they're like, oh, I got to get this other thing, but then they forget about it.
right.
This helps remind them, and the system's going to send out a reminder. But when it sends out the reminder, it only reminds them about the things that they have not completed.
Oh, nice.
So if I ask them for three things and they completed two, when it sends out the reminder, it's only reminding them about the thing that they didn't do. Now,
Nice.
over here on the customer's end with this schedule call piece, notice the button itself actually says schedule call. So now when I click on it, what it's actually doing is we hyperlink this to my actual calendar. So now it's
Yep.
taking them to my calendar to go book the meeting that we need them to book.
Yep.
So again, makes it really nice and simple for the customer to go do what they need to do. And the client didn't have to go, oh, let me go to their website. Let me go find this page. Let me go click here and go do this
Yep.
other thing. I just made it a quick button press. They get there, they go schedule the call, or they get there and they go do the thing that we're wanting them to go do.
Nice.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Some of the other things that the client's going to be able to do inside the portal, you guys will notice there's a document section here. This particular client, I have them as owning multiple businesses, so they can come in and see all the projects or all the folders that we've shared with them specific to their business, and they can see it by business. So this is all the work for, this is all the folders for DRC, this is all the folders for Apple Inc., and then this is the personal folders for Adrienne, right? So they're able to come in and see what we want them to see. They don't have to have multiple logins to deal with their multiple businesses. It's one place that they're seeing everything that they need to.
So if I start, I have a bookkeeping firm. I start using Financial Sense. And so then an email goes out to my client that says, hey, Margie has started using Financial Sense. Here's your portal, your link to your portal or whatever. And this is how we're going to communicate. Is that correct? That's
Correct.
pretty much how it works. Okay.
Yeah, we can send out that email, have it go out to the client, and then we can actually have a portal for them to be able to see the things that we're actually asking them for. Right? They get a nice clean checklist. They can see the folders that we were sharing with them. So if I got a folder where I put all of their financials, that way down the road they need to go, they're getting a loan and they got to go to get all that documentation together. It's easy for them to come in here and just go grab it for their different businesses, or if it's just individuals, go grab their tax returns or whatever it is. There's also a place for them to communicate with you, so they can actually send chats and communicate.
Nice.
And you're going to see on your end on on the accountant side, what that looks like here in a second.
Mhm.
Oh, again, those uncategorized transactions, it's actually going to ask them, what was this transaction for? And it allows them to come in here and attach receipts and invoices so that they can actually put in those documents, tell us what this is for, and that's it.
So they're not actually selecting a category from QBO. They're
Right.
just
So
typing a memo.
yeah,
So
so
how
they
does
might come
that
in.
get to QBO then? How does that get updated in QBO?
So what's going to happen on your side is when you go look at the actual client itself. So that was done for DRC. So when we look at the client DRC, what we're going to right here is called the client dashboard. So this is the one place that you can go to see everything you need to know about a client. All the projects that we're currently working on for this client, all of our client notes. Okay. And this is just, these cards are just going to show you quick synopsis of it. But you can actually click on here and see all the notes in one place. Okay. There's also the uncategorized transactions. So if I either hit view all, or if I come in here and go to the transactions, I'll actually see where these, like, this is the bank fee.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I see where we put that note in, and I
Yep.
see the document that we attached, and I can
Yep.
actually open it up and preview it. But then now, because the client told me what this is for, I can now come in here and categorize this as needed.
Yep.
And then this is going to update the QuickBooks once I approve it. I can bulk update, and I can bulk approve if need be.
Does that connect? So that looks like it's connecting to the chart of accounts. Does it also connect to the products and services list?
I know the chart of accounts for sure. I'd have to verify on the products and services. I believe it does, but I don't want to.
Right.
Wrong information.
Okay. If it doesn't, you definitely want to add that to your production schedule, because if it's an inventory product that they're, that they bought, then that's important for QBO. Now, do you connect only to QBO, or do you connect to other platforms like Xero and FreshBooks and all those, Zoho and all those others?
So currently it's only with QBO, but we are working on the integrations with the others.
Okay. Awesome.
So again, makes it really easy for you guys to do this. And what's also great about this is you can set up an automatic list, or you can set up an automatic schedule so that the system
nice.
pulls that out of the chart of accounts, sends it out to the client on a regular schedule based on whatever you tell it to. So I can tell it, send it out monthly, right? Or send it out weekly, or daily, or however often. And you can either enable or disable this. And you can also set up automatic reminders as well.
Now, if you have 0 transactions that need to be categorized, does it not send the reminder, or does it say the reminder and say that there's 0?
It doesn't send it because there's no need to at that point, right?
Awesome.
So we're trying to do is we don't want to bombard the customers for no reason.
Yeah,
right?
That's great.
So they're only going to get a notification if something actually needs to be done, and then leave them alone whenever they don't, right? This is one of the things that I think a lot of people really like about the system is that we can customize the client dashboard. And there's actually the ability to customize the about section. So this about section here allows you guys to create whatever fields you'd like. And then anything you want to know about a customer, you can actually have filled out. So if that information is actually filled out here, then you're going to see it shows up here. So if I come in and put client type and they're an LLC, right, then it's going to fill that out for me, and we're going to see that pop up over here. Okay. But the idea behind this is anything you want to know about your customer, you can put in here so that you're not having to go to QuickBooks to find out this information, my tax software to find out this. A spreadsheet that I have about all the other stuff that I know about the customer, to find out this other information. All of it can be brought together and placed into one location. And if you already have all this existing in other areas, our team actually is very helpful about being able to gather all that information together and bring it all into the system all at once. So we got.
Can you send an email to the client asking for all that information?
Yeah. You can email the clients directly out of here because you'll see that we have an email integration. What's also great about this, any email I get from any one of these contacts automatically flows into the client email bucket. For our management teams, this is really cool because even if I wasn't CC'd on the email, but the client reached out to one of our employees, I can actually
Yeah.
come in here and see that. So
Yeah.
that if something happens, let's say Margie's on vacation, she was the one normally working on this client, but they email her while she's out on vacation, I can still come in here and check those emails and see what's going on and even reply to them. You can
Mhm.
also pin emails to projects. So if I'm the client and I email Margie about something, and maybe it's a payroll, and I say, "Hey, Margie, on the payroll, let's pay everybody $100 bonus." She's not the one actually working on it. Maybe, Sean is the one working on it. Well, she can
Mhm.
pin the email to that project, and Sean now has access to it, can see
Mhm.
it, and that any further communication will automatically pin with that. So anything else that's on that email thread will automatically go, and Sean will automatically be able to see it. That way, again, if he's the one working on it, Margie's not, the client emailed Margie, she doesn't
Mhm.
have to forward it and then remember
Yeah.
to, like, she doesn't have to remember to forward it. That's also really helpful because if Sean ends up going out for whatever reason, Margie doesn't have to remember when she reassigns the work to someone else to forward them the email, because the email is now
Yeah.
attached to the actual project, which is really
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
So lots of really cool functionality there. And for the sake of time, I do want to get to some of the billing and some of the other capabilities that we have. As you guys can see here, you can actually see your invoices. You can create invoices. You can see how much you have sitting in drafts, how much is outstanding, how much has actually been paid, how much is overdue. I got a really bad problem with collections, apparently.
$1 million overdue.
Yeah. But we can see here, like, it's quick and easy to kind of come filter through this. If I
Mhm.
create a new invoice, it's really easy to come in and create new invoices.
Mhm.
We can even have templates already preset, so it populates a lot of this information for us. We can set it up for one-time invoices or recurring invoices. We can tell it how often to actually invoice. We can even tell it to auto charge.
That was my next question. Because we don't ever want to send invoices. We only ever want to auto charge.
But what's great about this is you can have it auto charge, and if when you send out the proposal, you can
Uh-huh.
actually request, or you can require that the customer enters a payment method, whether it's
Yeah.
ACH, whether it's credit card. We can enter that information. We can require that when they accept the proposal, they enter their payment information so that we can immediately start charging and setting them up
Nice.
auto charge. So
Nice.
we can set all that up here, and then you'll see here at the bottom, it'll tell us to go ahead and charge the client.
Yeah.
Or if I don't have the payment method for them yet, I can send them the invoice. You can send it to them via email or text message, and we
Mhm.
can select what payment methods we're willing to accept. But then down here, you see that I have the automatic reminders. So again,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure we're gonna get our money, because I'm gonna have the system automatically bug the client
Yeah.
until they pay. But once they
Awesome.
pay, it'll stop those messages as well. But then over here, we have this ability to say, once they put in their payment method this time, because we don't have it now, automatically charge that payment method moving forward, so that all the recurrences are auto charged versus the initial might be sent out via email. Make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. Absolutely. Love it.
And if you are
Love it.
tracking time in
Listen, is everybody listening to this? Auto charge your clients. Do not
makes your
chase payments on invoices.
life, makes your lives way easier.
Yeah.
Um, And if you are, for whatever reason, billing by hour for some purpose, or if you guys are doing that, we actually, when you track time in the system and you track billable time, you can then
Uh-huh.
come in here and actually add that billable time
All
into
right.
the invoice. It makes it really simple.
I hope none of you are charging by the hour either. You should know better.
So what's also going to happen here is once we send this out, once we collect payment and we do all this, I can actually send this out to the client. We can customize what the email is going to say. Go ahead and send out that invoice. In the client's portal, they're also going to be able to see those invoices, and they're going to be able to come in here and actually pay them. Now, what you guys are going to notice about this, client credit cards, $515 for this particular invoice. If I go to bank transfer, it takes it down to 500. The reason for that is because we are passing the processing fee on to the customer if you
Nice.
choose to do so. This is your choice on your account. You can customize it. You can even choose by client. Say for these clients, We're going to charge them the processing fee. For these other clients that have been with us for a long time, we're just going to leave it alone. Whatever it is that you guys choose. But it's really great to be able to set up those processing fees and pass them along to the client. The merchant service account would be through us. For these, it's 2.9% on credit cards, 1% on ACH, but we cap it at $5, which is a lot less than what you're going to get with a lot of these other platforms.
Yeah, definitely. Now, if I'm invoiced, so this is now me, the accounting firm, invoicing the clients that I'm doing the accounting work for. Does that also go into my personal accounting firm, QuickBooks?
It does. So you'll see over here,
Boom.
it'll tell you that it's auto synced or whether or not it's synced or
Yeah.
if it hasn't synced for whatever reason, it actually tells you what the issue is. So in this case, it just happens that this client, we don't know which client to sync it to in QuickBooks. So you can actually come in here, and if you go straight to the client, you can come over to the integrations, and then you can link them through QuickBooks. So you'll find the client that it goes to, select the client, and then it'll now link them. So now when I go back and look at that report, oh, wrong one. I can now tell it to go ahead and sync, and you'll see that it'll fix itself. So it makes it really easy and very simple. And if you see like this one's pending, that's pending because it's in draft. So we don't want to send it to QuickBooks until we actually send it out to the client.
Yeah.
Because you might be playing with the draft, right? And you might want to write it up, write it down, see how it's going to work. But you can see all that here. What's also really great about all of this is that all of this information feeds into the profitability report, which now allows you guys to see your hourly billables, which hopefully you're not doing, fixed billables, right? Your total billables, and then the actual amount that you bill. So the total billables and actual amount can change. And if it does, that's where we're going to get our write-ups and write-downs, and we're going to see that over here on the left. Then you see how much what your realization looks like. You can, when you're tracking time, whether it's billable or non-billable, we can actually see what our labor cost is. So now we can see our gross profits and our margins. Okay.
Nice.
One of the things I absolutely love about the system is whether you're on this report or whether you're on the workflow dashboard report, we have this ability to create what we call groups. Now I can create a group for anything I want. All my 1040 clients versus my 1065s versus my 10 or 1120s, all of my bookkeeping clients, my payroll clients, all of Margie's clients versus all of George's clients, right? But I can also create groups for the one thing that we know every one of you probably has, is that client that is a serial entrepreneur who owns multiple businesses, right? This is really, really helpful for them, because what ends up happening is I can create a group for like ABC Holding Company, and I can see all of those businesses that person owns. Now I can look at their individual businesses and see how profitable we are, but I can also see how profitable we are as a whole. And I can look at it for whatever time frame I want. So let's say this year, and I've got more companies that we hadn't invoiced in that last month. So we can see all of it, right? How profitable are we for that entire group of businesses that this one person owns? On top of all of this, with the groups, we can also, if the client calls in and they're like, hey, I just want to know where we are with all of the work across the board for our firm or for all of my businesses, it's easy for me to come in and say, hey, show me everything going on for ABC Holding Company, and I can see all of the work that we have going on for them. What I didn't get to show earlier that I want to talk about, this page should tell you a story. So when you're looking at this and you're looking at these projects, these tags and everything that are on here, this should read like a story to you guys. You should be able to tell that for Adeline Collins, we're working on the 1065 tax return for 2025. It's a recurring project that happens every year. It's currently in review, but looks like the employee's stuck on something, and we're still waiting on the client to get us information. We've completed 5 out of the 10 tasks. We have not internally communicated about this, but you'll see on some of these, I'll have to show it in a minute. Let's clear that filter. There we go. So you can see, like on some of these, there's been internal communication. This one has a little red dot in it because there's something I haven't seen yet. But I can see where our team is talking back and forth about this particular project, and that communication lives with the project. Also on this, I can also see, in this case, we're waiting on the client. That's because we had 3 things that we requested from the client, and we only got 2 of them back. Versus in this case, we asked for 13 items, we got 13 items back. So it's showing client info received. I can see what my start date is. If I have an internal due date, I can see that. I can see my actual due date. And then over here on the far right, I can actually see whose desk is this project sitting on. So as I assign the work to my employees and they're going through that checklist, if once it starts to change hands, all right, I've got my admin working on something, then it goes to my bookkeeper, then it goes to my reviewer, back to my admin. That whole process, this is showing you whose desk is this sitting on right now. I can tell it to show me everyone that touches the project as well. So we can see that as well, but it's usually pretty helpful to have it showing you whose desk is it sitting on. Because if they are stuck, I know who's stuck. I know who to reach out to without actually having to go into the project itself.
Can you show us the proposal thing real quick? Because I know that that's a huge thing for our students, is how to send out a proposal. They would love to see an automated way to do that.
Absolutely. So when we come in here and we actually look at the proposals and engagement letters, we can tell it to create a new proposal. I can see here which ones have already been accepted, which ones are out, which ones are in draft. When we create the proposal, you can create this in bulk. Okay. So I can come in here and like check off every client that I want to send it to, right? Or check them all off. Okay. Or I can come in and create it by group and say, hey, again, send this out to all my 1040s at the same time, right? You can do all sorts of different things. I'm going to do it for just this one client. When I hit next, I can actually have templates already set up, or I can manually come in and do all this. I'm going to go ahead and use my template because I also want to show it autofills all this information out for me. It knows to send it out to the client. It knows which contacts at the client site to send it to. It knows to send automatic reminders every 7 days. It knows I prefer to send it out via email, not through text. If I want to add text, I can 100% do so. I have a video that I've embedded in here. So
love that.
Particular item, I can create my video. I have my introduction message for this particular type of service, right? Because I can have different templates, one for my bookkeeping, one for my payroll, for my tax, or whatever, one for construction businesses versus retail, whatever it might be.
And does it force them to watch the video before they can see the proposal?
It does not force them to see it, but it does put it right in their face, and you'll see it in a minute whenever we actually look at what the client's going to see. But when you hit continue, this is one of my favorite things. It allows you to create packages. So I can actually have different service levels, or I can say, for this client, I've already met with them. We know exactly what we need to do, and we're not going to vary from that. So I'm only going to send them one option, right? Or I can send them options. We can have that preset. So as you see here, all this has already been preset for me.
Nice.
I can go ahead and hit continue. I can go ahead and set up how I'm willing to accept payment. And if I'm going to make it required that they enter their payment information in order to be able to accept the proposal, which I highly recommend. I'm not going to do it in this demo because I don't want to show my credit card while I'm in here.
Why not, George?
Oh, no, it just doesn't feel right.
You don't trust us? So is there a feature to like when you initially interview a client, you know, a prospect, when you're interviewing a prospect and you say to them, you know, what services are you interested in? And they tell you, is there a way to like have it up on the screen so you like check payroll, check, you know, that thing and have it then pull into your proposal? So like based on our conversation, this is what we selected and here it is.
Yeah. So based on our conversation, if I'm on the conversation with them, I can easily come in and build this out and say, hey, I need you're going to have your different service items in here with your preset amounts, but I can come in here and easily come in and say, let's go ahead and add a 1040 tax return in here. So I can come in here and say 1040 tax for this client. I've been talking to them. I can either have my preset amount already in here, or I can come in here and actually adjust this to say, I'm going to charge $1,000 for this one, right?
Yeah.
And go ahead and save that, add it right in. So I can customize.
And so this would be if I'm on the phone with them right now, I would have it up at, like for myself, like to do. Is there a way to like send it to the client and have them fill it out like as a before I even talk to them? These are the services I'm interested in. Or
so
no?
I'll let you guys
smile on your face tells me other people have asked that question.
Well, it's not just other people have asked that question. It's that we have something in the works. So we are actually about to release some form conditional logic form fills where you're going to, so you're going to be able to send like a questionnaire out and it'll say, hey, here's the things that I'm interested in. Here's what I want to know. That's going to then automatically feed that information into your client system. And so that you can then easily pull that information and do what you want to do with it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's going
That's
to
going to be super cool.
really,
Super
really cool
cool.
things that are coming
Yeah.
along with it because it actually autofills a lot of the information for you.
Yeah.
And you can map it to a lot of different things. So
Right
there's
on.
some really cool features that are coming out with that later this year. So y'all stay in stay in connection with us.
Yeah.
Check us out, pay attention because we've got some really cool features that
Yeah.
we'll release.
So now that we all are totally sold on how amazing Financial Sense is, and we all want to sign up, tell us what the payment plan is and process all of that good stuff, pricing and all that.
So we have multiple different options. We start off, we actually have a couple different plans. Everything from our solo plans for those of you that are solopreneurs that are just getting started. We actually have a solo plan that starts off at $19. It is billed annually, so it comes out to about $228 for the year. Still not a very good price point to be able to at least get something up and running. Get yourself off the spreadsheets, get yourself on a better automated system, and kind of build yourself up because what's really great about this and what we see a lot of is people will start here and then they will come up because as they start to grow their teams and they need more functionality, they are easily able to upgrade and actually add those additional functions and add those team members. We have a team plan which has less automation than the scale plan, but still a really good solid plan. It allows for the integrations with emails, all sorts of different things there. And then we also have our scale plan, which is really kind of like the primary system that everyone uses because it's got all the automations, it's got all the features, all the bells and whistles that you're going to think of. That's where this plan goes. And again, this one starts off at $69. I'm sorry, this one is $69 a month. It billed.
And I see the little get started for free. What does that get you?
We do have a free trial that you guys can go set up, which allows you guys to test the system, play with it, make sure that it's the right fit for you. That does give you 2 weeks on the trial so that you guys can actually use it. No credit card necessary. You can just go in and start checking it out, seeing how the platform will actually work for you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, so really good functionality there. There are some of the things you're not going to be able to do in the trial, like billing, obviously. You can still send out invoices to see what it's going to look like on the client side, but obviously you're not going to be able to collect. So different things like that. But you guys, we also do one-on-one sessions. So if you guys have specific questions you want answered, how is this going to be our team?
That's a great question. So, so you said you have one-on-one sessions. So if somebody signs up, they just call you and can be walked through. Is that what you were saying?
So we can do one. We have both prior to purchasing. If you guys want to have specific questions answered, we have a account specialist that will actually meet with you and tell you specifically for your firm, this is what we recommend. This is what we actually can do for you and answer any questions you have. But when you do sign up, yes, we do have onboarding and we have migration services. So if you're coming from somewhere else and you need to actually get everything moved over, right? It's like moving a house. Anytime you're going from one system to another, right? So we got the movers, guys. Y'all don't have to do it yourself, right? But yeah, we can help move all that information over and we can help get you guys set up. And with onboarding, you get training. So we actually train you and your team on how to use the system, specifically on how we help you set it up, because there is so much customization that we help you customize it and then we help you set it up. And then we train your team based on how we customized and set it up for you. So they know exactly how to work with it and they know exactly how to use it and they feel comfortable using the platform. And it's not just like a one and done training. We actually have multiple sessions that we go through to help out.
And that's awesome. And then is there like ongoing, do you have webinars ongoing where people like can learn new features and be part, do you have like a community happening?
Oh yeah, there's a Facebook community group called the Financial Sense Community Group. So go check that out on Facebook. And you don't have to be a member to actually, you don't actually have to have the system to join the group. There's lots of great information that goes on throughout there. But yes, we have regular webinars that we do. We actually have regular weekly trainings that we do on the platform as well for existing users called Welcome Wednesdays. We talk about new features in there all the time. It's live, so you can actually ask questions and get a real
Nice.
response. So it's kind of like what you and I are doing right now on
Yeah.
Zoom. But you guys actually have the ability to come in and ask whatever questions you need and
All
get
right.
real answers from an actual trainer. And then we also do our quarterly calls as well. We do our monthly calls talking about the new features and, lots of cool things happening. We actually do release quite often. We have new features coming out almost weekly.
Yeah.
So lots of really cool things to kind of pay attention to. And we got a great newsletter that Davida and some of the folks on my team put together. So
Cool.
yeah, there's lots of resources for you guys.
All right. Well, we are out of time. Thank you so much, George, for showing this. And this sounds like it's a dream come true for a lot of bookkeepers. So I hope everybody checks it out. Any final words that you want to leave us with?
Absolutely. I appreciate the time and I appreciate you guys having us on with you. We are also offering a special for Acadian. If you guys
Tell us more.
So if you decide to use Financial Sense and you go with the team or scale plan on an annual basis, you get 10% off. Just use the code Acadian10. So when you go into the system and you go access it, or if you talk to one of our reps, our specialists that are going to go through it with you, just let them know, hey, heard about it through Acadian.
Awesome.
Need that Acadian discount, and they'll make sure that you get that applied.
Right on. And is that a forever discount or is that for a period of time?
Well, for now, I have not put a limit on it, so I don't know. My
All
team
right.
give me a limit, so let's just go with it.
So as long as they're using Financial Sense, they get 10% off. That's awesome.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, George.